Hello and welcome to episode 2 of our Ostriv Alpha 5 Let's Play. Here in our town that we started last episode is December 1721, about to be 1722, into year 2 for our citizens here. And we got almost everybody into houses before the winter came. We did have one family move out, but when the 9th house got built, it was all ready to go. We just don't have any jobs available, so nobody's going to immigrate quite yet. But all we have to do is finish up our carpentry, so we can start repairing our carts, open up another couple jobs, and I bet we'll have another family in here before you know it. So these people are complaining because they don't have any wood to finish the carpentry at. Well, we don't have anybody working in the forestry because they were all so busy building stuff. So why don't we go ahead? We're going to take, let's actually take 3 jobs out of the camp center for our construction and put 2 guys to work here in the forestry, so they can keep taking care of all of our wood needs. And then that's going to allow them to finish the carpentry, and then we can hire a guy in the carpentry to go ahead and start repairing carts, and then making more when we get to that point. So, if you look up in the upper left corner of the screen here, we've got some helpful tips that are going to tell us exactly what's going wrong here. First, we don't have the town hall, so we can't control our economy, can't adjust taxes very well, or anything like that, so that's going to be a priority. Not immediately, but definitely coming up soon. Running out of nails, we need to build a smithy. That is the next thing we're going to build as soon as our carpentry is complete. Of course, the carts wearing out will be fixed when the carpentry is done. And then it wants us to build more houses to attract citizens. We're going to do that too. But everything does have to happen in a sequence when you're this early in the game. And these guys are going to go ahead and get to work. You can hear them sawing away, making some wood planks. And before too long, we'll have someone pop out of here, come over here and supply the rest of the wood, and the carpentry will be all finished. So what we're going to go ahead and do is start planning for what's going to come next. Of course, the smithy is the next thing we have to build so we can make more nails. And we just need to find a good location for that. Now, the smithy is going to use charcoal that we have in this pit right here, and it's going to use the iron that we currently have right here in our camp storage. So theoretically, it should be close to anything like that. Now, if you want to be really efficient, you could just kind of cram stuff way up together, but you know, we're going to try and make something that looks at least a little bit nicer than that, since that's how I typically play most of my games, is efficiency based. So we'll pop the smithy right here next to the carpentry, which also is smart because the smithy is going to make metal parts to repair carts, and if those are right next door, that just makes supplying that much easier, which is very important if you have a small early settlement. So we're going to go ahead and put on 5 times speed here. And looks like we have somebody carrying over some wood planks. Then the builders... Oh, well, that was fast. He's got a cool hat on. I can't zoom in much further, but I can tell it's one of those cool things. Nothing like a snowy day to make you appreciate the warmth and comfort of home. That's wholesome. I like that. What are you carrying? Oh, he says hello. He's carrying wood planks, I'm guessing for, yep, supplying for the smithy. So now we can hire somebody here. And we should have somebody come in and start working. Actually, do we not have enough job vacancies? We might not. We do need 2 guys in the forestry so they can take care of all that. So I'm going to take 1 more out of the camp center so we can have somebody working here to repair these carts, because we definitely need those. So while they're taking care of that, let's go ahead and build another house. Trying to get somebody moved in after... is this one occupied yet? No, because there's no jobs available. So actually, let's open up another one here. And then that should allow immigration to occur. Nope, now it says no jobs available. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Apparently, we had somebody just chilling, not doing anything. Well, that's fine. We're going to build a house anyway. So we tried earlier to put one up here, and that's why there's market stalls there. It just doesn't work. So instead what we'll do is we'll just connect up to the back of this one right here. Give them a kind of nice size yard. See if there's a spot that's not going to look completely dumb to put the house in. We could put back here. Actually, probably isn't too bad if we look at it sideways. That is going to look kind of weird with it kind of diving into the hillside there. So I'm going to rotate it just a little bit more. so it's not quite so strange looking. And there we go. That'll be our next house, which hopefully will allow people to move in. Seeing as it is January, it's probably about time to start doing a little bit more with our farm. Again, we can't have plows because we don't have cows. No plows, no cows, no cows, no plows. We can't have those because we don't have a trade yet. We could, if we really felt like it, build ourselves a trading post, but we don't have nails yet because we haven't built our smithy, so that's kind of out of the question. So for the next season at least, we probably are not going to have any plows or oxen or anything, so yields for all of our yields for fields. Wow, I'm on a roll today. The yields for fields will be slightly lower as a result. Now, we can't have both of these growing buckwheat at the same time. So let's actually turn this one into another thing of wheat. We still do have plenty of nutrients, and pretty early on in the game, a lot of people will do a pattern of multiple wheats and then a fallow cycle at the end. It's not going to be perfect without plowing, but it will get us more or less where we need to go. So we already have potatoes here that are going to spoil at some point, but they will be sold, they will be eaten, because we're going to build a bunch more houses, and people have to have something to consume. And you can also feed these to animals, but again, we can't have animals until we have trade, so I'm not even going to bother trying to get any of that going just quite yet. But there's also other stuff that we can be planting, like all of these for clothing. Hemp and flax are very important for those. Barley is going to be important for brewing when we get into that later. Sunflowers are also a very important thing for Ostriv, and I guess Ukrainian culture as a whole. It's a very important crop. And in Ostriv, of course, you can make sunflower oil. That's very useful for cooking. And you can also feed sunflowers to livestock. So we're going to make a third field. Probably not a huge one, but we are going to make a field maybe right about here. Not going to be super crazy or anything, but just a small field. Set that up for sunflowers. And then on the back side, we'll do some hemp and then a fallow cycle. So just a quick, easy thing because we don't have too much going on. Just get something going real quick, give them something else to do. So this next growing season, we will have a field of wheat, field of buckwheat, and a field of sunflowers, and that'll be nice to have that. These guys still are not... they need metal parts for repair, that's right. And we're waiting on wood and clay. We should have... How many... Oh, we actually don't have any laborers, that's why it's going so slow. Yep, that's part of the problem of having a small population is you really can't get too much done at one time. The game really, really starts to fly by in later years once you have a couple hundred people that are able to work different jobs, but early on you kind of have to balance and have different people do different things all at the same time. So as we start to have other things available, we are going to take advantage of our automatic resource slotting. Again, like right now, this is just what we have. This is the only stuff we're selling, so can't get too upset about that. We really need our smithy to be finished before we can pretty much do anything else. And these guys have to do it all themselves because we don't have any laborers and the carts are all broken. So he's got to go all the way down here to the clay pit, carry it in his hands. So let's actually follow this guy along, see how much he's actually able to carry. 100 units of clay. That's actually more than I thought he could. So that's cool to see. How much is this guy carrying? The same? I don't know what to say me either, dude. But hopefully they can get this done sooner rather than later. Fortunately, the wood is very close by. It's just that clay is... Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that far. But for early game, when you only have so many people, it's pretty far. Now, I did get a comment, not on the last video, but elsewhere in the Ostriv Discord, someone said, oh, I made the Ostriv rookie mistake of building anything except housing the first year. And normally, yes, that would be a mistake. I've done this before. It's worked fine most of the time. It's just this specific map, I had to space things out a little further, and then the transit time is what killed us on that last house. It was very close. But I don't regret having the thatchery done ahead of time because even though we do have some stored up here, It does give us an opportunity to have the women working jobs instead of just sitting there doing nothing. So we had them in the farm and in the thatchery. I think it was a very good use of time. Plus you can store up a little bit because, you know, the original stock is not going to last that long. It just takes time. And now these guys are taking their sweet time, so I'm going to go ahead, get everybody out of the carpentry, and then put them back on as builders. Because, well, they can't do anything anyway, so why pay them to sit around? But now I don't see them. Is that one of these guys? No, he's working construction. Construction. Okay, well, you're 3 years old. You're allowed to be unemployed. I do appreciate that the children will go in between houses to interact with each other. I think that's pretty cool. So these guys are still not in here. That's a curiosity. There they go. Now they're in. So we'll let the game run at 12 times speed for a little bit to try and get our smithy built. As soon as that's done, they're going to start making nails, and we can start making other fun stuff. And as the end of February approaches shortly, the snow will start to melt, and we'll be able to start planting stuff. I think for right now, with the people we have and no laborers, we definitely don't want to have too much going on the farm, because that could very, very quickly turn into a situation where you kind of overburden them and they can't get anything else done. We don't want that. Once we have plenty of people to have laborers for planting and harvesting, then we can put a whole bunch more fields in. But for now, not so much. Smithy should be done momentarily, actually. Always love to watch them build stuff. And there we go. Go back down to 5 times speed. Now, this place will make nails, metal parts, and horseshoes. We don't need horseshoes yet because we don't have horses, so that's perfectly fine to be set at 0. Go ahead and hire one guy in. Make sure that these are all set, because I know I'm going to forget later. Just want to make sure that's done now. It's looking good. Hire some guy back into the carpentry, and we'll take them out of the camp center. That should allow us to be able to staff everything effectively. Just going to take them a little bit to, well, finish whatever they're doing and get used to their new jobs. And since there are jobs available, we should be able to see someone immigrate in here soon. And there's going to be a second house, well, I guess 10th house, technically, built shortly as well. And we'll be able to see the women working in the farm come out and start planting stuff, starting with this field, this one, and then this last one, which is nice to see. I'm going to leave this space open for now because I think we can put some animal buildings here, or at least one of them when we get to that point. I'm going to, again, do my best not to just have everything be on a complete grid. Even though I do know that 18th century, 19th century Ukraine definitely utilized grid construction in terms of town layouts. But that's what we've done for the past, I don't know, how many playthroughs have I done on this channel? 4 or 5? I guess probably not technically 5. One of them I had to restart, so I wouldn't consider that to be complete. But point being, I want to try something that looks a little bit nicer, a little bit more interesting than just grid, 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 grid everywhere. So we have plenty of that. So now they're going to take the iron, they're going to take the charcoal, and they're going to start producing metal parts and nails. And then they'll be able to send those over to the guys in the smithy. And then eventually later on, other buildings as well will start using those. Right now we just have these 3 guys building a house. And until they're done... Oh, did we get a family moved in? Did I miss that in the message log? Yes, I sure did. They're moving right in here. They've got a child. And they come bearing all sorts of other fun stuff. So once we get this other house done, we should be in a pretty good spot. And we're going to want to start considering doing fishing as well, because that can only be done between March and November. And if we have salt, which we don't, but if we did, we could start making dried fish. Right now, everything is still pretty basic in terms of what food is available. Fortunately, these people have their own gardens and they come in with food, so it's not that huge of a deal. We will eventually have to really start focusing on diversifying our food supply and importing some stuff as well. Or else our people will complain about not having food variety, and you know, that's not good. But this field is sown, Buckwheat is in the process of being sown, and then sunflowers will be next. This house is taking quite a while to build, but that's okay. I don't think we have any extra... Oh, we have 13 open vacancies, really? That must be for laborers. Probably on the farm, yeah. Well, that's fine. We don't really need farm laborers at this point. The fields aren't so big that we can't do it all with just the people working on the farm. So they'll be able to take care of that. Yeah, the clay pit being down here is kind of a drag for building a bunch of stuff because, well, it's not really super convenient. But remember, we can't just put this anywhere now. And even some of these places that are green, we can't really build the thing on because of the incline. But I figured putting it down here would get it out of the way enough without being too far. That seems to be working okay. Now, metal parts. Yep, he's making metal parts. So this guy should be able to go get metal parts to start fixing these carts. And then, of course, construction is going to go a lot faster because, well, they'll have something to haul stuff with. All right, so wheat is growing. Or, yeah, wheat's growing here. Buckwheat is just about finished. And they're already starting with the sunflowers. Yeah. This should be just about done right here. Probably have one other person come in there to finish that, so that's going to be nice. Eventually, probably not right now, but maybe toward the end of this upcoming summer, we're probably going to want to put in some granaries around. Not entirely sure if we want to go full size or the smaller one. Haven't really thought about that yet, but we will get there. These guys certainly are taking their sweet time to do all this. That's just the struggle of early game. Now, a couple things we didn't discuss in last episode that have been changed is the forestry now will actually hold 18 logs. It used to have a cap of 12. So the forestry should become a little bit more powerful in terms of actual production capacity. If you remember my previous Let's Play in Alpha 4.7, by the late game I think I had to have almost a dozen of these things just to keep up with firewood production because they can only hold so much wood at one time. Hopefully that doesn't become a problem. So far this year we've already sold 200 units of firewood and it's only March. And fortunately these guys can usually make a whole lot and that ends up being fine. But again, it's going to be dicey toward the mid and late game if we can't keep up with that. So we definitely want to make sure we're always staying on top. This well is still pretty full. Well, completely full actually. So that's fine. I'm going to probably try to build one well per every 4 or 5 houses just to be safe. It's also worth noting, buildings like the farm, when you start supplying for oxen, will absolutely deplete your wells, trying to keep those animals fed and watered. So for those, we have right here our platforms that can only be used by production. So we can just put that anywhere down here on the water. I'm not going to build one right now because we don't need it. But then, once that happens, we can come up here and we can just disable our for production use on the well here, and they'll stop taking advantage of all that, and our citizens can have drinking water. Now, this guy should be able to get metal parts. We don't have a ton, but I don't think the carts really take that much anyway. So, hopefully this guy can get some done soon. In fact, I'm going to go ahead, yeah, laborers supplying, must be supplying charcoal. I would like this guy to get a little faster at this because this is going pretty slow and I would like to hire some more builders. I just can't because we don't have enough bodies. But these guys now should be, well, this one guy by himself should be in a pretty good spot to build this house. So we'll go ahead, take a little bit and watch them build some because it's just so much fun to watch this. I never, ever get tired of this. I've probably seen thousands of these houses get built at this point. It just truly does not get old. And I think it also helps that each house is randomized in terms of different components. So you end up getting something a little bit different every time, or at least often enough where you don't notice anything repeating. That's always fun. I think if they can get this done before the end of April or May, then the people that move in here should be able to plant a garden just like their neighbors have been doing in the background this whole time. Every individual beam. Still blows my mind. So while they're doing that, it looks like everybody's planted. I don't know exactly what they're going to be growing, except if you see these bush-like things right here, those are almost certainly raspberry bushes. And you'll be able to look and see later, hopefully, we'll see some raspberries show up here. I actually don't see any of these guys, so maybe it's updated. Maybe I'm not correct anymore. But it is cool to see all the different crops. I remember when they added this in. It was a whole lot of fun. But all these guys, stuff that they brought in with them is about to expire, so we really need to make sure we get on the food production train sooner rather than later. So once those carts are all finished, then I think we're going to want to get into building a trading post and start importing some animals. So those are very, very easy renewable food sources, especially early game. They don't really take a ton to feed if you don't have a lot of them. And you can have women working in all of the animal buildings, so you don't have to worry about your construction being, well, backlogged, because you only have to have 1 or 2 guys on there. Well, this house should be just about done. They're waiting on, I guess, all the thatch to go up on the roof, so there they go. And it's all done. You can see the little attic window right here on the side. I love that. Some of the other houses have that too, which looks very fun. All right, so now they're saying, oh, there's no jobs available. Well, we're going to fix that. I'll hire someone else to the smithy first. Then the carpentry, which should trigger jobs being available. And we can have someone hopefully move in very soon. While we're waiting for that, let's go ahead and find a spot for our trading post. Because see the amount of resources this requires? This is why I wanted to wait until we had at least something else figured out first for jobs, because this takes 24,300 wood. And someone new settling in the town. It looks like you got a husband and a wife, a grandma, and then an adult son, which is great because this is now 4 jobs immediately without having to wait for kids to grow up. That is excellent news. So here's our field of, this looks like a graphical glitch. Well, the game is in alpha, so that's fine, but this is supposed to be a field of sunflowers. I will fire off a bug report when I finish with this episode. The dev is very, very responsive to those things. It's awesome to see. They truly do care about the game, and that's part of what makes it so fun to play it. So you'll notice our wheat field is a little less spotty in coverage than it was before, and our buckwheat is almost completely filling the field, which is fantastic. Good to see. These guys still, the carts are broken. They're waiting on metal parts for repair. They don't have enough charcoal, so they have to actually burn firewood to create it and then cart it back over there. So, all that being said, we don't have enough nails to build a trading post, but we are still going to build it. We're going to place it down and try to get something going here. But I want to put it... Oh, did you see that? The little... Well, let me zoom in. I don't remember this doing this. The little sheds right here are going up and down with the terrain. That is cool. I think... Can I find a spot kind of... I guess right here would be fine. Kind of on the hillside, but it's not going to block anything down here on the river. Oh, I can't put anything there anyway. So it looks like this is actually too steep on this side to put a trading dock, which is interesting. Let's check out our fishing docks. Okay, uneven terrain. These are all uneven terrain, really? This entire thing? It's like, okay, we have to come all the way down here. This whole side, wow, this whole thing, except for right here. What about, smeltery? No, it doesn't like that either. Wow, okay, we're going to have a challenge on our hands when we come to the rest of that stuff. Even a fulling... Okay, the fulling mills work over here, which is good. We'll not be into those for quite some time, but when we get there, that's good to know. We can stick all that stuff there. So now these guys are going to very slowly build us a trading post. And then hopefully we'll be able to actually do something there. We still don't have anything else to sell except firewood and potatoes. But that's fine. We still have 500 potatoes that need to be sold. And nobody to buy them, which is why I kind of want to get this trading post done, because if nobody in here will buy them, we can definitely export them before they go bad. And make that somebody else's. Oh, that's a terrible thing to say. But stuff is looking pretty good. Oh, these guys planted kind of a neat diagonal pattern. I guess it just goes based around the house. It just looks so cool to see all these gardens growing stuff. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. What else can we do right now? There's not really too much without having trade in place, because that's going to kind of be the precursor to any of these different kinds of animal-related things. We could start growing fruit trees, but again, that uses nails that we don't have because they're already going to be allocated to the trading post. But if these guys can start picking up the pace, and it looks like they might be, then an orchard would probably be a pretty smart thing to go ahead and do, because these trees take 3 full years to mature. So for us to really have any sort of a hope here of having, well, anything, we definitely want to have sooner rather than later. So they're going to go ahead and cut down this tree. Just want to make sure that tree gets cut down first, and then we'll put the trading post back in front, because that is more important to get that done. And I believe they'll still keep supplying that while that's in the spot. All right, so as soon as I see these guys come to grab that other log, I'm going to go ahead and move this back. Might take them a while. Yeah, because they're going to go all the way back to the forestry. All right, let's just move it back anyway. They'll get to it. Yeah, because they still need 286 nails. These guys really need to fix these carts. Come on, man. Metal parts for repair. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's cut the nails to 500. We've really got to get them to make these metal parts. So I don't know why they won't... There they go. They're starting to import some of those. So then we'll see somebody come and grab one of these carts and take it over there to be repaired. Assuming they can actually... There he goes. All right, now he's got the cart. He's going to stick it right there in front, and he's going to start hammering on it. And it looks like he's fixed that one, which will be massively helpful. Help people transport a whole lot quicker, which is nice to see. He'll just go, yeah, see, look, there you go. Loading up wood and taking it over to everywhere it's got to go. They're actually starting to put stuff up, which is, I didn't think they would do that so quick. That is a-okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be quite so arduous anymore. Thank you, log. I would not have known what this is without the game telling me it was a log. Oh my. Yeah, so there go our forestry guys coming to get their log. And then they can continue supplying as soon as they get enough nails. Fortunately, this one only needs another 86, so they should be able to, once they have enough charcoal, should be able to take care of all that stuff. And then that'll be good. The next thing we probably want to build after we have the trading post and the orchard done is going to be the government building, town hall. Of course, that takes more nails that we don't currently have, and more wood that we probably have. Yeah, we have enough wood. But again, it's not super important to have the town hall this early in the game. It does have some really useful features it'll do if you have a counselor in there, like your seasonal hiring and stuff. But again, we're not really at the point where that's super important right now. That is a-okay. It looks like our potatoes. We need to be selling more potatoes, man. Come on, come buy some potatoes. We're definitely gonna want to get rid of these for the end of the year. Well, now we don't have the graphical glitch anymore with these sunflowers, which is good to see. Now they actually kind of look like real sunflowers, except a little, maybe a little brown. I don't know. We'll see. They're harvesting wheat. They're harvesting buckwheat. The wheat, of course, will be able to turn into flour if we build a windmill, but again, that is a building that requires only men work there, and we don't currently have a surplus of dudes. We will as soon as I can start importing and exporting and I can build some more houses, but, you know, it's one of those things that just kind of, you have to manage what you have while you have it. And sometimes that can be a little irritating, a little frustrating. with how slow some stuff goes. But at the end of the day, it's all going to get done anyway, so it's not really worth stressing out about. And again, the attention to detail. Each one of these buildings individually modeled, every beam, these little cross members right here, little clay segments of the wall. It's a work of art, man. It's just so good. So I'll leave them alone for that. I was kind of hoping we would get this orchard done before winter. I don't know that that's going to be the case. But we'll see. I don't know how many more guys I can spare really to do construction. I don't think I can. Because right now I already have 5, and of course you can't fire the mayor because you kind of need one of those. Forestry has to have at minimum 2 guys. And we don't even have somebody assisting with the carpentry, but if all the carts are working, then that really isn't that important of a job. We can actually fire this guy to go do something else. Which probably for right now is fine. I'm going to go ahead and hire him on at the camp center as a construction worker. Hopefully try to speed things along a little bit. All right. This game's just so nice looking. So now we've got, we've got some interesting graphical issues cropping up here. But again, it's alpha. It is literally the day this update released. I'm not going to complain about it. What I am going to go ahead and do though is I'm going to give the game a quick restart because it's starting to have a couple of performance issues. So I'll be right back in just a minute. All right, so we can see people gathering sunflowers up. Construction still is ongoing over here on our trading post. Still waiting on a ton of resources. But thankfully the carts are all fixed, so that shouldn't be too much of an ordeal. Yeah, still have these curious looking bundles of buckwheat. I don't think we should have another fallow field in here. We can get rid of that. Seems to be doing all right. What's happening here? Soil is exhausted. Wow, okay, so let's see. The hemp actually does require a little bit of the orange resource. I didn't think sunflowers were going to use so much, but I guess they do. So let's actually change this to flax. That should allow us to grow based off of that. Again, once plowing occurs, then this is going to be a whole lot easier to keep track of stuff. But again, we can't have plowing until we have cows. We can't have cows until we have trade. So it's just one of those things that just kind of has to go in the right order. We just have to wait. So we'll go ahead and put back our 12 times speed and wait for them to go ahead and finish this trading post. Hopefully it doesn't take too much longer. They're just continually working. It is a little bit further away from some of the resources, like especially the clay. So that is one of the downsides of having an early settlement. Stuff just takes a long time. But it's not all bad. We do get to watch all the individual beams go up. These guys go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth the whole time. It's just fun to watch. And at least the carts work now. So that's all good. We have our orchard here, of course, is now probably not going to really grow anything because it's about to be winter again. So I think we're going to have some houses jump in front of that. I cannot wait to get to row houses. That is going to be amazing, but we don't have any stone or any limestone yet, and all the stone is on the other side of the river here, so we'll have to build a bridge. I don't think there's any on this side that we can actually access at all. Maybe down here? No. Okay, so yeah, we definitely have to build a bridge to get any of that, which is a little unfortunate. But for right now, I think we're doing okay on that. We're going to go ahead and put in... They're not going to be able to build it right yet, but putting in another couple houses is probably a smart move. We'll try to follow the tree line a little bit. The trees will go away at some point, but for right now, they're there, so we're going to leave them alone. Go ahead and put in say a house right here. Move this guy around a little bit. And then we're going to put another one in on the back side here. Make sure this is connected. And we'll actually give this one a little bit of a smaller lot here. And then that'll be a block of 4 right here like this. We'll have another path coming around here between this edge of the farm and up there when the time comes for that. Now they're saying there's no more nails. Can't find nails anywhere. Well, these guys are waiting on charcoal. Do they have charcoal? No, because nobody has bothered to complete this. Again, small town problems. But it's not all bad. The farm is very nicely stocked, and buckwheat and sunflowers don't appear to spoil, which is very good news. Potatoes, unfortunately, do, which is not ideal. But that's fine. We will be okay. I don't know. I don't think... Oh, we can sell buckwheat. That's right. So we'll have them stock that as well. I really need this trading post to be done so I can sell the rest of these potatoes before they go bad. But now we're waiting on nails. So somebody's got to come get this one last piece of charcoal, I swear. These guys aren't having any negative effects from the charcoal pile being that close. I don't think they will, which is good to see. Now, you guys who can't do anything because there's no charcoal, you wouldn't think about coming over here and finishing this, would you? Should I reset this? Should I just build a second one? I feel like we probably need to have another one anyway. Let's go ahead and clone this. Just put another one right next door. See if we can get somebody to put something on here. I don't know why. Let's just empty that and then they can start that again. But we probably do need a second one anyway, so that's fine. While these guys are waiting for nails, let's see. Let's move the orchard to the front. Oh, that one needs nails too. But I think they can find 11 nails. So let's get that all finished up. Because I think they can do that before the first frost. I don't know if they can plant trees before it, but I think they can finish the building. So we'll hopefully... You can't find 11 nails, really? Oh, you actually can't find 11 nails. That's yeah, okay, I believe it. Can these guys build anything else while they're waiting for those nails? I'm not going to be able to build houses either without nails. Oh yeah, they have less than 1 nail. That's my favorite type of nail, is the partial nail. Alright, so that's a bust. It is what it is. I don't really think we're going to be able to do too much more outside of that, but we can go ahead and move a house up so they can at least supply part of that while we're waiting for the smithy to actually make more nails. But here comes the snow. So, come spring, they'll probably have plenty of charcoal. This is going to take a little bit of time to get through. But, you know, it's all good. We're doing just fine. Potatoes might not make it in time, but it is what it is. Just, they're killing me with these 46 nails. Come on, man. You got your charcoal. Well, you will in a little bit. Did this have a help text before? I don't remember. One burn produces 8,000 and 9,000 units of charcoal. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, the help text has actually been significantly expanded for this update. I think we might have mentioned that briefly in the last episode, but that pretty much everything in the game has some degree of help text. If you're not super familiar with how this stuff works, it is always helpful to read that, and if not, you can always ask questions. Feel free in the comments to ask questions. I don't know everything about the game, but I know enough to have a functional knowledge, I like to think, at least. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. I think we're actually starting to make nails, so I'm going to go ahead and try to finish this trading post. But if I can't answer the question, somebody else might be able to. And there's also an Ostriv Discord that has a lot of really helpful people in there that you can check out if you so desire. Right now, I want to try and get this trading post done ASAP because those potatoes are calling my name. They're very, very close to going bad. It's not the end of the world if they go bad, but I hate to waste. So having this complete would be extremely good. And it is done. So I'm going to hire a manager. These trading posts can only hire men. And, oh, well, they can hire laborers. Children. Oh, that's right. That was one of the updates, is children 15 to 18. Maybe it's 14 to 7. I don't know. There's some range of teenagers can be hired for certain jobs like laborers. That just kind of caught me off guard. Let's see. We've got a smithy. Can I spare anyone? I guess that's going to have to be from construction. Let's take 2 guys out of the camp center, hire a manager and a worker here, and then we're going to export potatoes. Let's just set that to be 500 for now. I'm still... Okay. I was wondering, why is spacebar not advancing time? It's because I was trying to type spacebar into the potato stock. Now, we should still have enough time to start sending stuff out. We do have a manager hired, which means we can go ahead, go to our world map. I'm going to go to 1x speed so I don't get too far ahead of myself, but we can actually send a messenger out to any of these 3. I believe Derkachi has chickens, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to hire a messenger for 80 coins and send them out. 16 days, they'll get there. We'll be able to sell stuff. And then hopefully we can have some chickens, which means one of the next things we need to build is a chicken coop, which is, of course, up here. It requires nails. Surprise, surprise. And we're going to put this over here by the farm. So we've got space right here. I think, is this going to fit nicely right here? More or less. We'll stick that there. It doesn't have to be done immediately because it is 16 days each way travel, which means at minimum 32 days before we have chickens. So that's enough time, I think, to finish the rest of this stuff and then be all good to go. The orchard is closest to being done, so I'm just going to go ahead and move that back to the front of the queue and try to get that finished before too long. I really hope these potatoes don't go bad before I can sell them. That would sure be bad. But now that we do have a trading post, we can send messengers and we can receive them randomly as well, which means that stuff is about to get a lot more interesting for our citizens here because they're not going to have to just eat whatever they can grow themselves. And the orchard is done, so we're going to select tree type. Let's start with apples. No workers to plant trees, of course. But we can hire women. So guess what? Women are working in the orchard. Yes, we don't need to have more than one working in the thatchery now because, well, we have plenty of thatch. We actually even have some left still in the camp storage, which is fine. All right, so she's going to get to work planting some trees in the orchard. And this can also be expanded or reduced in size when you go to place it down. All right, messenger has arrived. So let's click. This is our new trade interface. They're going to be there for up to 30 days. So theoretically, we have an entire month to decide what to buy or sell. And this is what they're offering. Salt, lime, leather, metal parts, iron, iron ore, pigs, cows, horses. They don't have chickens. Okay, well, that's too bad. Flour, sallow, dried fish, and potatoes. They are demanding wheat, shoes, buckwheat, charcoal, chicken, eggs, sunflower oil, clothing, raspberries, honey, apples, and Horilka, which none of this we're producing except charcoal. And I don't really want to sell that because we're using it. So I gambled and I lost on who has chickens, but that's okay because we can send another messenger there and another messenger here, and we'll just find out who has what. But for right now, these guys are offering stuff that we can buy. I'm going to go ahead, since our carpentry seems to be completely incompetent, I'm going to go ahead. I'll just buy 200 metal parts. Why not? Iron we don't need right now. We can also mine it, so I probably shouldn't ever be buying iron. But now you'll notice now that I've clicked import on the metal parts, it's going to tell me how much money I'm going to spend and how much I'm importing. And as that gets brought over, this will update. Some larger orders will have to be in multiple shipments because, you know, a cart or a ship can only hold so much. So that's a good way to keep track of that. We can buy pigs, we can buy cows, we can buy horses, we can buy flour. We can make flour, so I'm not going to be buying any. We can buy dried fish. That's actually really cheap. 500 for 75 coins I feel like is fair. So we'll go ahead and buy some of that as well. We're not going to be able to have fishing up and running for at least another 2 or 3 months. So that'll be nice for our people to have that. And since our guy's going to be there for another 30 days, we don't have to worry about anything else right now. We just unpause and let them go. Yeah, it is bad news about the potatoes, though. I think those have either already spoiled or they're all... Oh, no, they're all in here. Okay. So that's good. We still have some to sell here. Just 10. That's fine. So I'm actually going to... I guess we'll go down to 300 in our trading post to see if they can put some back in the market stall. They might not. Not like it really matters anyway, though. It's fine. We just have to be very methodical about how and when we diversify stuff. But if the other people don't have chickens, I'm taking this out. I'm going to put a cow shed somewhere. Even though we probably should have both. Yeah, let's find a spot for a cow shed. Because we definitely need to have one. I don't think I can fit one in here. Oh, if I take trees out, I can. Okay. All right, well, let's actually do that. Need to remove 1 trees. Yes. And, of course, before we can have any cows, we have to have hay to feed them. We don't have any hay. It has to be grown, which is why this is staying at the very end of the production thing. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we have to build a hay dryer somewhere, preferably that we can't build a house because, well, that's only so much stuff we can put in different spots. See, uneven terrain is actually not that bad down here. But in the interest of, well, not having cows die, I'm going to just go ahead, put one here, and we'll put another one right next to it. When the summer comes along, they will mow grass with scythes, and they'll put it on here to dry, and then as soon as it's dry, we can put it on hay barracks, which are over here in the Trade and Transport tab. We have that one, and then we have the big boy. But we don't need to build this right now because we don't have any hay, so we're going to leave it alone. And probably by the time we get around to this, it's going to be either next episode or the very end of this one. So we're kind of at the mercy of these other guys here. Potatoes still have a little bit of life left in them. Okay, that house is complete. Looking good. I'm going to go ahead and push this chicken coop up in case we can buy some chickens from somebody else. So we'll let our builders get into that. This house should be occupied at some point soon. All right, so our second messenger, they have sheep. They don't have chickens either. Man, no, I really hope these last people have chickens, so I'm going to be kind of upset. All right, they're going to buy potatoes. So we're going to sell 404 potatoes. And they're going to send somebody immediately to come pick it up. Oh, here comes our metal parts and the import. Our poor messenger going over to these guys is still not there. Now, if we were in a... Oh, they're selling stone. That's good, because I think we're going to exhaust our supply of stone at some point. That's good to see. Chicken coop is coming along. This should probably be done in the next 20 days. Hopefully, which means I can buy some chickens. Chickens are a very easy livestock to take care of in this game. And this should be our first shipment here. Metal parts. I think the wagon's got an animation update because they're moving around. This actually looks like a new model. I could be wrong, but he's hauling first of all. Well, on 12 times speed, of course he is. Yeah, they got some articulation travel on those wheels there. Put the Jeep fanboys to shame. So, all right, they should be exporting potatoes pretty soon. If not actually already here. Is that what this is? Oh, no, they're delivering the fish. Okay. Well, that's fine. They are selling chickens. So they're going to be here for 26 more days. We'll make sure our chicken coop is probably mostly done before we buy any chickens. Because the last thing I want is to have a whole shipment of chickens show up and then turn right back around because they don't have anywhere to put them. So we're going to leave that alone for just a little bit, but this also gives us a chance to take a look and see who is offering what. Again, like I said, chickens, hemp, wheat, honey, which our people can actually grow in their own yard, so I don't really think we need to buy it. Textiles, broadcloth, which is a sheep product, warm clothes, which is another sheep project. The first guy's left already. Of course, these guys have a lot of the same stuff, including sheep, new thing, cows and pigs. But now that we know that everybody should be in a pretty good spot. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to sell these guys, so pretty much all we're going to be able to do with them. We got 15 more days where we have to buy something. But the good news is all the resources are collected here, so this should be done hopefully pretty soon. They got another 12 days. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm going to wait, though, because that's going to be a little rough if these aren't finished, ready to go. And keep in mind, it can't just be done being built. It has to be supplied. And they have to be able to eat stuff. So water and wheat to start off with is fine, but the chickens will also eat barley, buckwheat, sunflower, or linseed. But they'll be fine on wheat for right now. We're going to once again hire only women for this because we don't have enough men to really get away with anything else. Let's see, I think I'm going to get rid of one of them here. I don't think I have enough to really do much of anything else. But we can... 8 more days. I'm gonna push it just a little bit more so we can have this whole thing supplied with some wheat before it's too late. So we'll wait until this gets down to about 3 days before we start ordering some chickens. Actually, did our potatoes ever leave? I guess they did. I don't see any active deals showing up. But we'll check our messages in just a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and buy the chickens, so now they can be imported. Let's check our message list. Let's see. Oh, okay, so we exported our potatoes. Apparently there's no problems. Hopefully they didn't go bad in the wagon on the way there. But first imports, first exports, looking good. Are we supplying? Yes, so we actually have supplies now for the chickens, which is excellent. Love to see that. Now we're building our additional houses. I don't think... Yeah, we have an available house, so people should be moving in. And these trees just got planted, so it's going to take them quite some time to grow up. It's going to be another 3 years, so we won't see any apples for a while. And I kind of want to put in a couple more just so we can get the other trees, but I don't have enough people. I think I might still want to build it anyway. Let's see, can I think this will work. We're going to have to be careful with our boundaries on our stuff here, because it is going to be kind of hard to get everything to fit in. But we can put this other orchard right here. That'll be fine. Actually, we could probably push this ahead of the cows because, well, if we don't have any hay, it's kind of pointless to have cows. But we should have chickens coming in. They're just going to take a while to get here because it's really far away. Well, that's fine. Otherwise, how are we looking in terms of water on this this well here? Okay, so we were going to want to build another one pretty soon, I think. We can't build a stone well, obviously, because we don't have any stone. But I think right here behind this chicken coop is a good spot to put a well. If I can get it to sit right. And we can't forget either about benches in front of all of our houses. We got kind of distracted doing everything else, but I think it's smart to just have one in front of every home. Shift-click to place more than one. Of course, as everything else in this game does as well. Now down here, these don't have any either, so let's go ahead and stick these guys right in front here. Now in other games, other playthroughs, I put a bunch of trees down to decorate the little roads here. I believe that is part of what had caused my previous playthrough to not display some of the items toward the end of the game, because we just spam-clicked everything. So I think we're going to be a little more conservative on placing of decorations, at least for the time being. But we should... Okay, we did have a family move in. Yes. Very cool. Another 5 jobs that can be done here. Which means we still have 2 in the smithy. Nobody in the... yeah, we're going to have to get somebody in here. Carpentry to do all their things. Forestry is working just fine. Ah, yeah, we can sell the dried fish in the market stall. I don't think there's anything else I can add for sale quite yet. But we'll get there. Should be okay. This is going to take forever and a day. I actually don't know if I have to have... I think I do have to have somebody in the orchard so the trees don't die. It would be cool if they could just leave them alone to grow for 3 years and I can put somebody back in there. This house is just about done. See, now this is... Wow, that's kind of a steep hill. But this is where it starts to get a little more fun because you can actually have people do different stuff. And not just have to shuffle around. What are they waiting on? Oh, they're just waiting on construction guys. Alright, that's fine. And now everybody's planting their own gardens. And that's always so much fun to watch. That is super cool. Now, notably, these 2 fields are fallow because, well, that's what the schedule was set to. And I think we probably could have grown another crop, but I think it's fine. We'll go ahead and just set this up to be plowed correctly. Potatoes and buckwheat. And then this one is probably okay on a 3-year rotation. We will have cows before next planting season, so that'll be a-okay. I'll give some time for the field to recover. No jobs available. I don't believe you. There are plenty of jobs available. We just have to enable them. I don't want to put anybody else in the trading post quite yet, but that's probably okay. Oh, the eggs go bad now, huh? Well, I guess that makes sense. We just need people to start buying them, which means we need to hire another... Did I copy-paste all these settings? Yeah. We need to hire another person to work here. And then, yes, chicken eggs will automatically populate. I'm going to go ahead and set this to chicken meat because I know that's coming as well. As soon as they start slaughtering chickens, they won't for a while because we have to have up to 30. I could lower that, but I won't. We have a messenger. Another fun thing about having a trading post actually complete is these guys offering more chickens, more stuff we probably don't need, and they want stuff we can't export, which is unfortunate. But it's nice to have these guys show up anyway, from time to time. How's our, okay, iron. We should probably start importing iron. I don't think these guys sell it. No, they don't. That's these other 2 might have it. But as soon as this is exhausted, this, of course, will disappear. Probably starting to be time for another cart parking or a cart shed somewhere. So I always like to keep these kind of located near production items, different buildings. So I'm going to put one here next to all the chickens. It's not going to let me, is it? Uneven terrain. Well, never mind. I guess we're not putting a cart shed here. That's too bad. We're going to have to be, become creative. I don't know, can I, oh, I can. Okay. Well, it's not the worst place to put one right here. That's probably okay. Oh, if I could find a spot where I can have it straight. My eternal struggle. Okay, that's fine there. That'll be okay. Have cart parking all set up. Alright, now you can see right here. Yeah. Well, the the animation's still not completely done. But they'll just, I guess, pull their orbs of hay out of the ground. And now it's on the dryer. When it reaches all the way over here, it'll be good to go, which means next we can have cow sheds whenever we get there. We can have those taken care of. And then it's also probably about time to build a hay barrack, which I will go ahead and put in maybe right here next to the cow shed. I'm not going to completely squeeze everything in a tiny space like I have done before. But we will get that in place. And since we now are going to have cows down here, it's probably a good idea to also have a platform right down here next to the water for our animal-related stuff to go take care of their water-related needs and not take all the water from the public wells. So now up next we have this other orchard, of course. Hopefully shouldn't be too long. And these guys are offering, yes, they're offering iron, which we need, and is actually not too expensive. So we'll go ahead and sell that. In terms of buckwheat, I clicked on the wrong thing. We have 1,484 buckwheat, so I'm going to go ahead and set some of this for export. We're never going to be able to eat all that or use all of it. Let's go ahead and let's just say export 500 buckwheat. Should be okay. There we go. They'll be able to export that. As soon as that is put in place, I will come back over here. Okay, they're not going to be here much longer, so let's hope we can get some buckwheat imported before too long. I don't think it's going to take a terribly long time. Is this guy supplying resources to construction sites? So he's coming down here. I was hoping one of these guys would come down here with a cart to come get some buckwheat. So I guess we'll wait to see. Maybe some of these people are going to be carrying it. Yes, carrying buckwheat. I'm blessed to have a roof over my head and food on the table. That's a good attitude to have. All right, so we have some in here. I'm going to go ahead and sell 500 buckwheat. There we go, and they'll be able to buy that. The rest of this, once we actually have some that we can sell, is going to be really nice. Oh, somebody got married. Cool. So they filled the new house. They're complaining there's not enough food variety. Well, you literally just got married, so go buy some food. That's the one bad thing about having marriages fill a house instead of people immigrating, is the marriages will never bring over any food, so they've got to go buy some. And you're kind of limited to whatever you have on the marketplace at any given time. Now, how are we doing on our chicken eggs? Okay, so that's actually good. This orchard is complete. We're going to grow apricots. Hire a woman. There we go. Oh, there's actually some looking for jobs. It's probably a good idea not to have everybody completely employed, because then you can have hay dryers and all that other stuff get done. All right, a cow shed. Be nice to have this taken care of before next year. Hopefully, we can get that done. Let's see, how are we doing here? We are importing. Our iron should be right here. So as soon as these guys get into town, we should see this update. So let's actually speed that along a little bit. All right, and they will be coming in from up here. There's the cart right there. Yeah, so as soon as they show up to drop it off, we'll see that amount update. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Well, at some point it will. Maybe it's after the trade's done. Regardless, it'll be somewhere. There we go. Now it's starting to update. So that's all good. Cowshed is under construction. And we're going to have probably just women working that one again. Because it's just so much easier early game to do that. Alright, so now they're complaining about food variety because they can't get anything except dried fish and buckwheat. Oh my. Well, you know, it is what it is. Can't always get what you want. But you can go buy some eggs. So why don't you go stop by the market, get some eggs? So then you don't have to be mad about not having a lot of different stuff to eat. All right, nobody's going to go buy food. You're just going to sit there and complain. All right. It is your right to choose to be that way. All right, cowshed, come on. Got to get something else built here. I think for the time being, we're probably not in a position where we really need to build any more houses. I don't want to go too fast and kind of upset our delicate ecosystem here, especially now that food spoilage is a thing. But it is nice to have these eggs on a pretty regular basis, and that we can sell them in the market stall, of course. Now, eventually, we're going to want to be able to import some more stuff. Oh, well, there you go. What are you offering food-wise? Just cows and pigs and horses and sheep, huh? That's unfortunate. Now, if I had a cowshed that was actually done, then I could buy some cows. Maybe if I feel like tempting fate, I can buy some before the cow shed is complete, because it will take them a little bit of time to get here. I kind of want to do it. 7 more days. They've got some time. They've got some time to finish this. They just need the thatch. 5 more days. Okay, all resources are collected. Now they just got to come over here and build. All right, come on, my guy. We're up against the 8 ball here. 2 more days. All right, it's going to go down to 1. Okay. All right, pause the game. Warning, no cow shed, but there will be a cow shed. It's going to be fine. Let's buy 2 bulls. And I don't have enough money to really buy 20 cows. But can I buy... okay, 1 bull. 1 bull, because you really only need 1 bull to, you know, make more cows. So one bull, 4 cows. Buy. That will take up most of the rest of our money, but it's going to be worth it. Because this cow shed will be done. Hopefully. Please do not make me a fool. Let's just get everybody in here working on building this thing. Because now we have our cows on the way. And we have until they get inside town limits to have this thing complete. So let's just hope for the best here. I think they'll get it done. Won't be anything too ridiculous. Oh yeah, they're only halfway here. And yeah, cool. We're going to use a fallow field as the grazing lands for the cows. Hire women only. And there we go. They're going to start supplying everything. Cow shed is complete. Cows will just come straight here. And then they'll spend the rest of the summer in one of these fallow fields, which will help re-energize the nutrients in the soil. Which are currently already there, but that's fine. And then we'll be all good to go as soon as these cows get here. And then that's probably actually a good spot to stop for today, because this episode has gotten rather long. But, you know, I like the longer episodes. I think a lot of you guys do as well. Hay barrack is done. All right, so that'll get supplied with hay once this storage is full. And the cows are ready to go. Just have to have them come in, which should be... are they already in here? I've been given a loan. I didn't need a loan. I'm perfectly capable of making money by myself. Thank you very much. At any rate, the cows are here. They should be going out at some point. Should be going out to a fallow field. We have a... Well, I thought we had a fallow field. I guess it's already moved it over to the next crop. Maybe that has to be at the beginning of a season thing. That's fine. We'll keep growing these cows over the winter. And then in the spring, they'll go out, they'll make more cows. They'll be in one of these fields that hopefully will be fallow. Yeah, this one right here. And that's going to be fine, because that'll help nourish this field back to health. Yeah, there you have it. It's definitely a long one, over an hour. But this game is just so much fun. I'm very glad that you're able to be here to share with us today. I think we got a lot of good stuff done. We got 2 orchards in. We got some more animal stuff going on. Got our trading post set up. Now we're starting to look like a real town. All we have to do now is not mess it up, which shouldn't be too hard. We just have to be a little more careful now because of product spoilage. Yeah, look at this. It's just so much fun to see this stuff come together organically, even though these people are still complaining about food. Just go buy some... Okay, well, there's actually no eggs for sale. But once the chickens actually start getting slaughtered, then, you know, we're gonna be okay. I am gonna go ahead and set that down to 15 hatchlings and maybe 20 chickens, so we can actually start having some meat come out of there. Yeah, that is going to do it for today's episode. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, anything else you want to say, please drop a comment below. I read all of them, and even though I can't respond to every single one, I really appreciate you for reaching out and starting discussion about the game or anything else that's on your mind. And I hope you'll join us again in the next one. As a reminder, this afternoon, if you were an early watcher of this video, we're going to have another Cities Skylines live stream. Those are always a lot of fun, so I hope you can join us for that. And then Of course, we have other stuff coming as well. We have the finale for our Timberborn Let's Play coming up this week, and then continuation of our Anno 1800 as well. So plenty to be excited about, plenty of stuff to look forward to, and I would really appreciate if you join us for the rest of it. So whatever you're doing the rest of your day, have fun, stay safe, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.